Hi, everyone. Amanda Archambault here. I chose an article on the 7 things you should know about mental health and higher education. It was actually the first title in the list, and it grabbed my attention right away, given that this is obviously a hot topic in education today, not only in higher education, but also in our pre-K to 12 institutions. So I dove right in and I'm going to share some of my takeaways. One of the big pieces to this article were focused around the idea that we need to destigmatize the thoughts and feelings around mental health, almost normalizing the idea that what we have all been through has been a traumatic experience. We've adjusted in, in the minute kind of scenarios all throughout the past almost year and a half now. So I thought that was really important, just that idea of destigmatizing. One of the repeated themes throughout this article was really about how higher education can help address mental health by exposing the sources of anxiety, depression, and stress by developing resources. So it's almost this, which almost made me think of the backward mapping that we learned about, that by giving resources and ways for our learners to explore their own well-being, we may reveal the source to stress that maybe we didn't even know that was there, but that does manifest and has a direct correlation to our ability to succeed. That was another repeating theme, that mental health correlates to one's ability to succeed. So that's pretty huge. So one of the pieces was around how technology tools can correlate some certain kinds of behavior with mental health problems. And one of those examples was around attendance and the patterns that we may recognize as leaders in higher education that might point us to some concerns or conversations that might need to happen. So it's kind of those technology tools that have those algorithms and analytics kind of built in that are at our fingertips that may reveal patterns. Using the online platforms that we use, such as Canvas, and looking at kind of patterns of practice that our students exhibit may give us information that could in turn help our students. Another piece to this article was around technology services that are available, but that they shouldn't be a replacement for that human interaction and connection. This is where cultures of gratitude and emotional intelligence thrive. We thrive by hearing and learning from one another. I think we've always been able to recognize that, but once you've lived through quarantine and pandemic and COVID, for those that is difficult to make those human connections, they've gotten used to not having to practice that piece. So it really is, I felt an urgency reading this article as someone who's getting ready to embark on this higher education journey as a leader to really recognize that and make sure that our environment that we create is safe for everyone. So there has to be this co-evolution of tech tools and personal awareness, and that's that emotional intelligence piece that can't always be taught, but it can be practiced. And we bear the weight of that on our shoulders. I feel that. Some of the questions that we need to ask ourselves and our learners are, what are the lessons learned from our COVID experiences? And really be vulnerable in that exercise to understand the changes that may persist from our experiences. The article shared some really cool resources that colleges are developing, from Florida to Michigan, I believe it was, to Middlebury College, Colorado State University, YouTube channels that focus on mindfulness and mental health. There are apps such as Be Well that were developed from the University of Alabama, sometimes therapy dogs, a variety of resources have been developed to help individuals. And it doesn't mean that you have to have identified yourself as having mental health issues to be able to access these resources. It's about being vulnerable, exploring all of these resources, and then, practicing these I'm not sure how to describe it, practicing these self-care type behaviors that will make a difference. So although technology plays a significant role in how we can target and talk about mental health, it certainly isn't a standalone. And as educators, we play a role in that and can use examples that were found in this article in our classrooms. Thank you.